Well, over an 8-year span in the 2010s, over 500 Canadians went to the hospital for a lawnmower-related injury. And with the warmer weather here and families starting to take care of their yard, we have paged Dr. Paul this morning to share some backyard cleaning tips. Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning.
And many of us, we're getting the backyards ready, but there's
right.
lots of hazards and lots of things that can go wrong when we're getting our backyard ready.
That's right. We always tell parents, be careful about backyard safety. It's not only lawnmower injuries, there's all kinds of injuries, but particularly when you're opening up the backyard.
Okay.
You're kind of not used to it.
Right.
So you're really busy planting, cleaning, moving furniture, those type of things.
Right.
So when you have young children around, make sure that they're not unattended or maybe keep them inside. So there are hazards that people don't even think about.
Right.
But I can tell you, we've seen a lot of these working in emergency rooms and pediatrics. So best way to do it is prevent it. Be aware.
Okay, the first one we're going to talk about, of course, is tools and sheds.
Sure. And again, the shed itself has all kinds of nasty things, right?
Yeah.
Sharp scissors, rakes, hoes, all these things that could be quite dangerous. They can also have fertilizer, lawnmower, gasoline, oil, fuel, those type of things. So at all times they should be locked up. And but the problem is, you lock it up, but then you're working.
Right,
so
and you're not paying attention.
You're not paying attention. So maybe you have a rake here and you've left the scissors unattended.
Right.
So young kids can get into those things. And believe me, we've seen that.
They're so quick. The thing is with kids, they're so fast, they do it. You turn your head for 1 second and they're into something,
and that's the whole point. And particularly, of course we pay attention all year round.
Right.
But when you're cleaning up and you're getting ready and you're running around to make sure that, this is there, that's when sometimes most of the accidents can happen.
It's not like we're just relaxing and lounging in our backyard like we will be, in towards the summer.
And that's the point,
Let's talk about pools. Many people are getting their pool stuff ready as well.
So again, chemicals and all the things, chlorine and all that should be locked up in the shed. The other thing is that, we talk about, there's a whole thing that I talk about pool safety and water safety later on as we open up, but now a lot of people have their pools still closed, a lot of them have covers on them. And again, distracted, doing things, and they're not necessarily working on the pool, but they're, for example, cleaning up, raking or whatever they're doing. Again, children can fall through those very flimsy covers sometimes, and the pools are sometimes not fully emptied, so that's a danger as well.
Even those little baby pools, I know we left ours outside over the winter and now it just has water in it because the snow's melted.
Yes, and young children can really drown in 6 inches of water, literally.
So something to keep in mind. Okay, next up we're talking about gardening.
Yeah, again, of course all the equipment, but again, you have bulbs, you have seeds, you have fertilizer. All these things can be dangerous. Choking hazards, poison, and those type of things. And so again, looking around, planting, please be aware where they are. Just be aware as a parent when you're working in the backyard, because those are the type of hazards, again, we've seen it all. Children choking on the bulbs and children swallowing fertilizer, those type of things. So that's quite important when you're doing that.
Even putting the fertilizer on the ground and your kids, if they're crawling on the grass, could be a hazard.
Exactly. So that's, again, to us, it seems sometimes not natural that you do things, and but these children, little kids, can get into it so fast.
Obviously, you see it all the time, so it's important that we talk about it.
It's more that you're distracted.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
You're getting things ready as opposed to being mid-season when you're able to relax.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point.
So that's why it's
the season. And so lawnmowers. When we talked about so many injuries. Now that when now they're all gas, they're all powered, and so they can, a lot of things can propel, so when you're lawn mowing, keep young children inside and others around it, even pets, because you can fling out very quickly. I've seen nails, I've seen splinters, it can hurt people. That's one thing. And the other thing that people ask us is how old should a child be when they can operate a lawnmower? So the recommendations are not before 12 years of age, those push ones. And then you have some that are ride-ons. And those 16 and over, that's the American Academy of Pediatric recommendation. So be careful. And again, we talked about the fuel, but it's really, again, when you're mowing the lawn, children and others should be far away because they could be a danger. In that regard.
Thank you so much for coming on this morning and talking about yard safety and, of course, things we should keep in mind while we're opening up our backyards.